888-465.
All right, we got 1 day left this week. Tomorrow's Friday.
They need to realize
It's before Thanksgiving, before Black Friday.
Well, what's happened with these people, they're all a bunch of
ready
Judases.
to dump the dollar,
They've
I
done it
think,
for
or
30 pieces of
everything's ready
silver.
to just
Kristi Noem has done it because she wants to
smooth
run
out.
for president in 2024. And she does, and
People
she,
are
running
buying
against
the
Trump
Bitcoin a little
is,
bit here, and the
not a
oil
good thing
looks
for
like
her
it's
future.
about
So
to
she's in
turn
her
down.
prime, right?
This is my
She's in
dream.
her prime. She's very well known. She's
One
young,
last price falls down.
and she
Maybe
wants to run. Corey
the
Lewandowski
greedy
works
side
for her,
of
so
me would
he
say
views it as his way.
this is the
back,
beginning of the measured move on the
into the big
monthly, and
time.
it's just going to crush down like this
running
and
a
end
national
up
presidential campaign and maybe even a
plopping
job
into
in the
here.
White House, which he didn't get with Trump.
So coming
these
into
people all have very selfish reasons for their Trump betrayal. But the reason I'm writing these names down, Candace Owens,
Earl.
is because we need to know who these
I'm
people
gonna be digging
are
for
and
Earl,
what they're doing now.
we could be back
because
to
in a year and a half, when the primaries are going on,
all this
we don't
supply
want to
back
forget.
here
I'm going to
left
keep this
behind.
list.
All those stops.
And these rhinos, when
From
they
the guy
don't
that bought
support
up here.
what
Some guy
Trump
bought
stands
up
for or
here.
what your
Yeah, it looks like a bullish bar.
most of us
I do really think it's going up.
They are
Meanwhile,
basically
everybody's short
condoning
above
everything
here.
that the Democrats do.
Well, yeah, they're working
At
with
least
the
for the
Democrats.
scalp on the
They're
monthly.
working. I mean,
Rip
look at
back,
what happened.
cut through like a
with,
fucking insanity.
McConnell
That summertime
yesterday,
was
who's
insane.
probably employee of the month
This,
for China right
this
now,
dumb
right?
fuck says he's going to shut down the pipeline, and people are like, "What the fuck did you just say?"
And now again, the MAGA Republicans haven't gotten in place
And they
yet,
go, "Oh,
and same thing
he's
with
a
Kevin
tired
McCarthy.
old moron."
That's how this is happening right now. We don't have the MAGA Republicans there till January.
Trying to ricochet
So
off
they're rushing
that,
to do
but
these votes
maybe
and
not
everything
so
now,
much.
so that when the new
Kaplank's
MAGA
coming.
Republicans are there, it'll be too late.
It's time to take out those
This is
lonely
the
wick
old guard,
buyers
the
are
old
coming in here at
establishment that are
70,
voting on these things right now.
67, 61. Do I hear $55 a barrel? Yes, you got. I would say.
Trump prevails.
That's right. All right,
looks like
Indiana,
it's the
appreciate the
cards.
call. And I'll tell you, I
My
am of
dream
the opinion,
for the
and I don't
measured
think this is
move.
a-
This is the elbow. This
some
is going
far
to
out
be
of left field opinion, and I'll ask you guys.
kind of tough
this.
to call on the monthly there, but
Do you
it's
think
like
the Republican Party is working so that Herschel Walker
there's
loses in
double
Georgia?
top on the monthly.
Do
Very
the
clean.
Republicans want
There's a
Herschel
bottom
Walker to
becoming a
win or
top on the
lose in
monthly.
Georgia? I'm here to
If you
tell
wait
you
a
they
fucking
want
year
him to
for this
lose.
trade.
Because if he wins, he's Trump
Sell
endorsed.
the
That's a Trump
retest of
victory.
that.
They would
Kinda
rather. I've told you guys this for a long
Spike
time.
in the sanity.
The
spike.
Republican establishment would rather control the loss than lose the
And
victory.
you waited three quarters of a
So,
year for
no,
that trade.
they
Hope you got
want
in that. Hope you got
Herschel
in on that
Walker to
trade.
lose.
It must have been a double
I was
top
talking
instead of the
about
weekly
that Swift boat
to
veterans
confirm
drew
that. Jesus Christ!
And let me just tell you
Look at
quick,
this
because I got
beautiful
a new
trend.
clip here.
It's pretty rare.
That if the Republicans were
First
serious,
pull back,
they
there's
would
no
use
looks
it.
back.
That
Fucking
Swift boat
just
veterans
churning away.
pad that I had
End of the year, boom.
created all those years ago in
So the end of the year is
2004.
coming. Maybe we end
had
up
the
about
Swift
here. I
boat
guess
veterans
it's
for
going to be
truth
about as good
people
as
on
it
this
gets.
program
$74 a barrel.
Before they were on national television or anyone had heard of them.
That's going to
And
be
what had
interesting.
happened was, I was watching. It was over
so we got the,
a holiday. I don't remember what holiday it was, but I was at my mother-in-law's house.
So the euro
and
dollar's
my
drifting up.
brother-in-law
Final
was
price
there, and
pulse.
we had C-SPAN on.
The
That it was
daily,
during
it
that
is
presidential
a
campaign
stop
between
hunt for
Kerry
the
and
Bears
Bush.
on the daily. We're looking to
And
take
they
all these
ran
stops
an
here from all the
old
sellers.
C-SPAN interview with John Kerry
Trying
when
to
he
clean
just
house
came back
at
from
least a
Vietnam,
year.
debating this guy.
So
And
cash out. I'm going to start
and
selling into
and
this ledge.
Believe it or not, he had commanded
So
the
the only
same
trade
Swift boat
available
as
right
John
now.
Kerry after him,
Start
and
selling
he
high.
was for the war, and John Kerry was against the war. And I
Yeah,
cannot
it's
remember the
definitely
guy's
somewhat
name
right up here.
now. It's been many years, right?
We
I
had
mean,
a
come
whole
on.
blanket of tickets
It's
in
been
that.
like 17 years. But
That's right for the
and they said,
pickings.
well, today he's a lawyer in Texas who
Wouldn't hold back
you
any.
know, and I looked
Don't be
him
shy
up,
about getting
and
in that
he had
trade.
not done any interviews. I cannot remember the
So,
man's name. If anybody remembers, the head of the
dedicate
Swift Boat
some
Veterans guy. The
coin
Swift Boat Veterans for
to
Truth had not
this
even been
thing.
established yet. But
This
I
big,
looked him up through the Bar Association
This
of
yellow
Texas
zone
and
is
got
where
him
you
on the program.
That's 40-yard line.
And I had to
We can
talk him into
agree.
doing it. He had
We can
not done
agree
any
to disagree.
interviews. And Steve, a lot of
This
you
is the
may not know
compromise
this, Steve
trade.
Kane,
This
when
is
he was
the,
a young man,
what
was
you
a
call-
producer on the
how you
Dick
say,
Cavett show, of which this show took
compromise.
place on. And I used that
hedge
as to warm up
blend.
to the guy to get him to do the show. So we had all the Swift boat
Definitely
veteran
load
guys
up down
on
here, though.
before anyone else. And,
the Euro
and
can
we
make
had
it
one
back
guy
there.
on who
Euro's
was a
been
prisoner of war in Vietnam, and he told us how they
punished,
would
and
play
it's just not happy
John
about it. We
Kerry's
got Doji
testimony
here,
in front of
so
Congress to try to
I
get
guess
him
the
to sign
ride's
the
over
confession
on
papers in the POW camp
the weekly.
in Vietnam. While they were
But there's
torturing.
one
This
maybe
is- I mean,
last
it's
drift
crazy.
left in this
John
puppy.
something
Take
was
us
that
up into
guy's name
the.
from the Swift boat veterans. I can't remember his last
So we
name.
pierced this.
And then John
thing.
Edwards came to town,
We actually
and
took
at the
out
Fort
this high
Lauderdale airport,
just by a couple
he made this comment. If
pips.
you
Just
want to know
barely nicked
the
the
truth
wick
about
there. There's
John
big
Kerry,
pullback off. of
talk to the men who served with him 40 years ago in Vietnam.
that. And the
They know
next
the real John
target
Kerry.
is going to be.
So what I did was that was just
this
on the that was not a
one
national story. It was just on the local news.
in the blue zone. Now
here
there's
on our
where
local
you want
television
to.
station. So
like
I
I
took
said
that
in the
clip
last
of John
video,
Edwards, who was running with John
We'll
Kerry.
take a
as his
loan out
vice
against your
presidential
car,
candidate.
even if you don't own your
And I
car.
put that clip of John Edwards, if you want to know
Times
about John
like
Kerry,
that,
talk to
son,
me.
you're gonna
And then
have
I
to do
put
that
clips of
trade.
all these Swift boat veteran guys that served with him in Vietnam. that we've
MetaTrader's
had on
kind
the
of
show.
lying to you here about the
And I
end of the
made a little
year.
commercial out of it. Played it on
It's
the
like the
radio
monthly.
that day, and when the show was over, I
Looks
called
like
the
the
Swift
year's
boat
got
veterans
like
for Truth people
about 3
and played
months
the
left.
commercial for them, and then they did the TV commercial
So
and
this
then
line
took
has to
credit for
jump
my idea.
over.
And
MetaTrader
that was
doesn't
the
do that. I don't
end
know why they
of
because it's sitting
John
a
Kerry's
little bit
hopes to be
offset.
president. It really was that commercial.
So
Well,
we can only count to here.
Georgia,
It's really the end of the year.
I've got a clip here that you've probably
So
heard.
that was quite the retrace,
that
I
if the
must say. If they're
Republicans were
slamming off
serious
of
and
this
really
also
wanted
at the
Herschel
same
Walker
time,
to win, not
smacking
lose,
off
I
the
believe they wanted to
close
lose.
just for a little bit.
They would take
and
this clip that I'm going to play for you now
if you think this low
of
matters,
Warnock, and
I think
this is
it's more
from
that
his
this
church.
high matters.
Remember, he's
here.
a
So
reverend,
that's down
and he's talking to his
pop into
congregation on
this.
Sunday. They would make a series of
RSI
commercials
finally gave you a
with this clip
divergence
of
on the
Warnock
monthly there.
and play them nonstop on radio and television in Georgia,
But
and
now it
do
looks like it's
online
drifty.
advertising. But they're not,
We're just
because
gonna drift
they
around
want
now.
Herschel Walker to lose. Because if Herschel
Poke up a
Walker
little
wins,
bit, poke down a little bit.
that's a Trump victory, and they don't want it. They want Herschel to lose
That's
and then
not
blame
too
Trump for it,
interesting.
right? Even though they're not doing anything
The
to help. Him. So
daily
here's
looks
the
like
clip.
the
Here's
cleanest
Warnock.
signal. You got a
You could do
two-pair
with this
reversal
clip
here.
what I did with John
Right in the
Kerry and
middle of
John
it right
Edwards,
now.
and it would be over for
All you
Warnock.
gotta do is
Listen.
pop out these
But it
2
is
wicks and I'm out.
It is the latest
Cashing
variation
out that
on
trade.
the same
So on the way to the
kind of
exit,
blaming
on the way to
the
the cells, I'm
victim
going to be
disease
scaling
that
up.
has America sick
Getting
in the first place. I
Definitely
submit to
dumping
you
the whole
that
thing above here.
America has
So
a
my new cells will
pre-existing
start
condition.
here.
It's called
But
racism.
yeah,
It's called
weeks over.
classism.
Okay, now that's where you started.
You got
America
about this
has a
much. If you
pre-existing
hit this
condition.
box
Has
here.
a pre-existing condition.
See
It's
how they
called
got
racism. It's
fucked that
called
up. So
classism.
bam,
It's
bam, it
called
should be
bigotry. It's
about right
called
here. Bam.
xenophobia. And we need
This is the
God
end
to
of it.
heal us
It's
of
not
our
out there, unfortunately. So if you're
pre-existing
doing your perfect channels and
white
stuff,
people.
you're gonna, or your Gartleys, you're
That
gonna,
clip of Warnock.
your fibs, you're gonna be pretty pissed off.
If they put and there's video, I have the video. I tweeted that this morning.
But
He's in
it's
his
a
church,
nice
he's in his
it's a gauge, you
preacher
know.
clothes. I'm sorry, guys.
These are gauges.
My throat's
people
very
use.
dry. Can I have a cup? Can I have
Not
a sip
always,
of my coffee? Do you mind? I'm
Not
sorry,
everything
guys.
fits in this gauge.
I talk a lot. Okay, I talk a lot.
Envelopes and
Sometimes it has
stuff
an
like that. I
impact.
remember. Well, the Bollinger
on the
Band's the
throat.
attempt of
You take that clip, which the video of
putting
it is
the
spectacular.
ATR into the moving
Very
average.
good video. You can see the video.
Just
I
the
have it on
volatility
Twitter.
into those bands,
put
so they
that
scrunch
together,
down
you've
and they
got
get
a
tighter and
television
tighter, and it seems
commercial
like a better and better
That
trade.
would put Warnock
From a
on the
breakout
defense.
standpoint, in the direction
He
of
would
the
be
trend,
done
supposedly
in
with his
2 weeks.
20,
He would have no hope
what's he use, a 20
of winning
EMA or something.
because
on that.
people would be so outraged. And by the way, you put that in the
The
newspapers.
idea of the
and
20
everything
period
else.
moving
But
average
the
is,
Republicans are not doing it. They want Warnock to win.
it's like saying, I'm going to
And
drive
that's a
about
fact.
60 miles an hour.
Or they'd be running with that.
Okay. How about 30 miles an
And
hour?
I'm going to
Well, that's my
predict that
50
Herschel's
period
going to
moving
lose
average,
because
actually.
the Republicans are going to
So
work
if you
to
just
not help him.
yeah, some
and to help
people want
Warnock.
to get there.
And
some
helping
people are
Warnock can be as
impatient,
simple as not doing anything
and
with that clip that I just
that's
showed.
why I use the 3 period moving,
If
the 3 period
I were on the
moving
air
average or a
at
3
radio
period
stations in
RSI.
Georgia,
I mean,
that
3 period
clip
moving average on the daily. You
play
know, you're just
twice
basically
an
buying
hour
below that 3 period moving
until the
average.
election was over.
Close. You're just riding the
that's what I
market
would be doing.
very
because people
tightly. A
gotta
lot of
hear
trades.
that. I know we have listeners.
But if you got a
in
50 period
Georgia,
moving average, dude, you gotta
but,
sit back on that
you know,
daily.
that's
You
not our
gotta fucking
primary
wait for the
listening
thing to
area. But
tag it or
that's what I would
something.
do if I were in
Who
Georgia
says
on
it's
the
not gonna
radio.
cut through
All right,
the
listen,
thing?
we're going to take our last break of this hour.
You
Come
mean to
back.
tell
There's
me you
more to
waited waited
talk
all
about
year
in
for
your
that trade.
calls. I'm Brian. It's Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
I don't think that's
But that's what I
even
would do
fucking
if I was
conceivable for me. Every 8 hours, I gotta have a trade going. At least every 8. I don't think that's asking too much. Too neurotic. Too OCD. Obsessively compulsively disordered. Rocking in my chair back and forth till I soothe myself. This is a nice RSI setup, but of course we could just wick down, but it is the daily chart, so we got a perfect topic on the bottom, we got this fucking pullback. And we just climax into the box, and we're done for the week. So whatever chaos is here, we got this wedge, which is just, we already cleaned that out. Kind of poked into that, took out this lonely wick, ripped back. People are like, I guess it really is a breakout. All the confirmation people are supposed to get in here. And we just have the natural you would think that's a good completion point at a price, and then we can just do stupid shit like this where it just zigzags back and forth. That's what I'd be getting out as it shears these wicks off, because I'm sure it's going to pull back off those pretty hard. There's going to be a lot of sellers up there. That's I have to say, absolutely. There's no way around that.
Sorry guys,
Seller's
my
delight.
throat is a little tired.
So we know that's going to happen. Okay, so we got the
yeah, these are rough times.
running
times,
the
people.
3-period RSI. So if you just trade the RSI right up against the price like this. Okay, so that's the daily. I don't see many signals there. I couldn't live off of that. So on the 1 hour, you got these nice setups like this. Here's a couple signals on the 1 hour. Got this pretty severe buy. It's pretty steep. Have to scrunch the RSI down. So you're taking these two numbers and find the highest close between those is your target here. Then you get another, it's like a triple buy here. You got connect these and connect this. This is more oversold, higher price. It's climbing up. Here's your perfect setup. So would you wait all day for that? I don't think so. So I'm gonna get in. Well, I just got my buy limit sitting in a pocket here. It's like a hot pocket. My buddy's eating a hot pocket, and I said, explain to me the calories on this fucker. So it says 310 calories per hot pocket, but the whole package is 630. So I'm like, there's 2 hot pockets in there? Like, what is wrong with this picture? That's impossible. 20 pips. Missing from the formula.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Callers on hold. Stand
Everything's
by.
a pip
Our number one
at some
888.
point. So here's your divergence that causes the
2631.
so people are selling that
Oh,
divergence
man,
and they're
Dr.
right.
Philip
Actually, it
Appleton
comes
and
back a
his
little
laser
bit.
away pain system
But it
is
fails.
Just amazing what he's done for me.
So the divergence
Rid me 2
is
months ago of my knee pain.
kind of giving you
Completely
that
gone and has
setup.
not returned.
Divergence here, yes,
And
it
I've been
does pull
suffering
back.
with knee pain for
Could have
years.
sold
I had
that
a
too.
skateboarding accident. I used to skateboard all the time. You know, I've been back on the board.
And
Yeah, I'm
now
telling you guys,
you've
I
got this
lost
real
weight
long-legged
because
buy. I guess
I'm
you
more
could take
active now because I
this
have
from
no
a swing
knee pain.
trader's
A couple
standpoint.
weeks ago, I had to go out and buy a new belt
Load the wagon here.
because my old belt didn't fit anymore
what's the
because I
last
lost so
one?
much weight.
Here's a nice
And the
here's a
new
nice
belt,
triple
I'm on the last
divergence.
hole on it now. I've lost even more weight since I bought this new belt.
Heavy really low prices, like
by the way, free acupuncture
only
when you go
by
in to see Dr.
here for
Appleton
this
for your laser away
buy.
pain treatment. But you know what? You don't have
you're
to
gonna
have
miss out on
acupuncture. I didn't have acupuncture on my knee, and the pain's gone.
potentially more money
But I'll
because you
tell
could load the wagon
my,
into this all the way to here
arthritis in
instead
my
of just
hand and my
waiting
finger
for
is
this.
gone, and it was rough. It was a rough pain.
You got the
laser weight pain
virgins,
works
all
on
this
more
shit,
than just
but
knee pain
are
and
you really
arthritis.
gonna load the fucking wagon here on one ticket? It
work
doesn't
injuries,
make any
sports injuries,
sense because it
strains
doesn't
and
always pull
sprains,
back.
repetitive motion
Like
injuries,
here, if you're running trailing
post-surgical
limits,
swelling, neck pain, back
you had to
pain,
get in here
tinnitus,
because
sciatica,
it never came
spinal
back to here.
stenosis,
I mean, it would be great if it
fibromyalgia,
came smashing down here.
rotary tears, herniated discs.
So when it popped
If you're
up here
suffering
and came
from
ripping
pain,
back, that was
Dr. Appleton and
amazing.
his laser away pain
Then it's all
system
drifty
can help. He's
now.
open Monday through Saturday. Walk-ins
As
are
soon as
welcome.
it takes out
Appointments
this
are
high,
not
I'll probably be
necessary.
getting out on something.
You can find him online at
I know there's
appletoncairo.com
sellers sitting
or
up
give
on
him a
this
call.
ledge, and then we got this to here. This is last known
973-0710.
Monster Peak
His
of
laser
all
away pain
peaks.
system,
There's
it
sellers
works. It's worked on me
galore up
twice.
there.
2 different areas
So
of the
that's
body.
obvious,
The
I think,
arthritis in my
painfully
finger
so.
and my knee pain gone and is not returned. The treatment on
There's
my
kind
finger
of
was
a-
2 weeks ago this
A
Saturday.
cell in a way. There's a, it's a
Gone,
reversal.
and it's not returned. It is
soft.
amazing.
Barely there, but then there's a
973-0710.
pretty severe one. It's not a perfect.
954-973-0710. Make sure
But
you
it's
tell
just
Dr.
every time you
Appleton
delta
heard
out,
about him on
look for the
the
reversals of
radio.
the market goes
Okay, welcome
sideways.
back, everyone. Our number 888-GO-CANE, 1
Or just
888-465-2631. So the
an
plot
idiot
against
and just
Trump
buy it
is a very, very
anywhere in
complex
between these lines.
plot.
Like just buy
And it will continue.
bigger tickets
Now,
down here, though.
FTX, this crypto
Like load the wagon
Democrat money
below
laundering
this.
scandal.
So this zone
Don't
is
think that's gone
wagon
away.
loading zone.
This is
You rarely fill that,
huge.
you know. You get
now,
filled here
the mainstream
finally.
media are not going to cover
Actually,
this
you
too
load the
much.
wagon here, so you go
They're not going to cover
underwater,
it too much because their friends
and then the divergence
Democrat
happens after
establishment
you
are all
go.
wrapped up in
Like
it.
there's one more.
I was talking about this a couple days ago, and let me recap and then give
Crush.
you some updates, okay? So what had happened
This
was
pocket.
is
hot
and this
pocket
is
sitting
this
back
is
here.
amazing. This is the largest financial scandal
then
in the history of the world.
For the greedy person
The
or
amount of
the
money
scaler
here is
inner,
bigger than any other scandal.
he
Maybe
starts
even
buying here all the way down.
probably the top 5 scandals we know about.
and
If you added up all the
your
money with
hope
that,
is
it's probably
that
less.
we're
than
going to
that.
get an engulfment, and you're going
It's that
to
much
start
money,
cashing
right?
out and be a seller up here.
And what had happened was this, and this is how we found out what
And
was
of course, the
going on.
pace of this
Is when the whole thing went belly up, we found out some very
this is certainly
important
a
things.
harsh
It's not
move.
just a financial
Down,
scandal,
rip
but a
up.
political scandal with the Democrats. And this
rip
is
and drift,
huge.
really.
And that's why
Never
the legacy
came
media
back.
are
Just like
covering
if you were
up this
hoping
story
it was going to come back and
by not reporting.
capture your limits, you
making
know,
it
it
an
just never got
afterthought.
filled on that.
And I
This
haven't
kind of
seen
shit
them
that
have
happens.
any crypto experts
like,
talking
well,
about
it just
this, or
never got
campaign
filled on
finance
that,
people.
so now what?
They're using their business reporters who don't even understand
You wait for the next
issue.
train to come by, really. The
talking
1
about
hour
it so they can
chart.
get
So if I
credit
go to the
for
4 hour
covering it.
chart,
So
it's going to be less
what
trading.
came out was that Zelensky bought
But it'd be
$100
so-called
million
higher quality signals.
in the
This is higher
FTX
quality. We
crypto
never
token.
Oh,
And
we
that
don't
set
fit
off a
the 1 hour
lot
chart.
of alarm bells because
It's just
they're telling us
too
Ukraine,
noisy.
you know, Zelensky is begging for money. They need every cent they can. Their country is on the verge of no longer
reasonable
existing
looking.
with this war, this invasion from Russia.
Yeah, I don't see any great.
Why
well,
would he donate $100 million?
here's a reversal, but it's a
US
little late,
taxpayer
you
money,
know.
of course.
It's like, who the fuck's...
To this
That's why I
crypto
really
token.
don't follow our side.
Seems very strange. And then
But
we
it's cute,
find
you know,
out
it's cool. I mean, it's
that,
a high drama
Bankman
version of Price.
donated $33 million
Like, this is a triple
to
reversal.
the Democrats in this
If you're
election
willing to pull the
cycle.
trigger on
He
every
funded the
oversold
entire
into the 50-yard
Democrat
line,
midterm
sell. That's pretty
election.
aggressive, right? You're a
Now,
trend trader. It's
he
going
funded
down. You fucking
Fetterman's
idiot. It's
campaign
going
in
down. It's going
Pennsylvania,
down. Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi's PAC and
There's
more.
a sell.
It's money
It's still
laundering.
going
He got
down,
to
it's
keep
going
out
down, but
$67
then
million of the $100
whoopsie
million as his
daisy. When
fee
it
for
takes this
laundering the
out,
money,
people are like,
and that the Democrats
oh.
paid for their entire midterm election campaign
Oh boy, that's cheap.
through the Ukraine funding. Huge story.
This is a
Huge
beautiful
story.
one. You just have
And
tickets
it's very
sitting
easy
here
to
all week,
understand. Now, I will give
hoping it
Jesse
comes back
Waters
and picks
credit.
you up. And sure enough, of
2-3
course,
nights ago,
you probably didn't buy
he did a
enough.
segment and explained the whole thing.
I'd say
But
definitely
since then,
start
it's
putting
cooled
it
off a
here
little
and
bit.
then
You're not hearing too much
put
about
more
it. And
there,
if
and
you do,
then
you don't
here you
even
never got
understand it because
filled.
they're making it confusing. Jesse Kelly had a nice little graphic that simply explained the whole
This
thing
would
that
be
I
a good
just
one.
shared with you. or Jesse Waters. I
Go
keep calling him
flat
Jesse
right
Kelly.
now.
Jesse
Wait.
Waters.
Put limits back in, or start
And
putting the
they're not
cells
going to
on the
report
top of
this
this
story
thing.
properly.
Let it come
They're
up and
going
get
to
you.
cover it because they're trying to prop up the
Coming to
uniparty.
get you.
But they're not going to be able to cover this up.
Here's a nice steep
Because Elon Musk now owns Twitter.
bicycle.
If Elon Musk did not own Twitter,
Reversal.
this story would be
Take
gone.
the highest close.
Okay.
It's supposed to be
The
your target.
FTX story is blowing up on Twitter, and I know a
So
lot
all
of
it
you will
is
say,
a
"Well, I'm not
one-two
on Twitter,
punch.
so that
It's
doesn't
just
exist."
picking up the.
Let me tell you, there are young people
Here's a
that have
buy,
lost
but it,
every cent
yeah,
that they
this
have
one is like
in the
it's
world
getting too
over
late in the
this.
game. You know.
And they're very vocal about
You
it.
get a
And they're
project
not
off of
going to
this,
be
so
able
it's a
to
failed
sit
target.
on
It's a
this
problem.
story. It's only a matter of
It's starting to
time
weasel out.
before President Trump is out on the campaign trail, and he'll be talking
But you
about
go to the
this.
Daily, it looks great.
The media are trying to
Sync
report the
Daily
story
to
as
the
if it's a celebrity story.
I have a 4-hour daily,
I
switch
heard,
back and forth.
Fox had a story, and they were talking about how Kim
But there'll be
Kardashian got in
drama to
trouble
come
recently
as soon as
for not
Europe
disclosing that
opens
she
or
was paid a
whatever.
lot of
You know,
money
so
by a crypto
market
company
opens,
that
it's
she
gonna
was
be crazy
posting
up
on
and down.
Instagram. And they're trying to make
So
it a
look forward to the
celebrity story
craziness.
because so many celebrities did paid endorsements for FTX.
The wacky price
They have
action.
not even gotten to the politics of it.
It's never a dull moment.
And this is huge. Now, this guy's
Markets
going to
are
be
on fire.
extradited. There's going to be many other people,
Here's
not
a
just
nice
Bankman, who
Powerful
are
reversal
facing
right here.
the rest of their lives in prison over
This
this.
is
They're
where
going
they
to sing and
cock
talk
the
like
gun right
canaries.
here.
But the internet is blowing up over this story.
That's a
And the
clean
legacy
signal.
media can choose not to cover it if
Got
that's
top,
what they want to
become a
do,
bottom,
but
kinda
they're
subtle
not
there.
going to be
This
successful.
top never became a bottom. It's just getting ahead of itself.
So when you look at what's going on,
It's a great
and by the
one.
way, that's part of the plot against Trump. Do not report any negative
let's go to
news about establishment politicians of either party.
Daily chart and get that.
They're the saintly figures
Creeper gear
whose
view.
reputations will not be tarnished. It's all about
Never-
tarnishing Trump
Never get there.
and
Then
those
the weekly's
who
kind of out of
support
control.
him. And I want to tell
So
you,
that thing had quite a retracement after
this
all that
plot against
punishment.
Trump has only just
It did
begun.
make it back to these lows.
When we get to the primaries,
The floor that it blasted
they're going to
through.
now put him on the ballot.
We're sitting
I'm
dead
telling you,
on
they're going
there.
to keep Trump off the ballot. Even
At
if
the
they
end of
don't
the
pass
week.
this insurrection legislation
Pretty
in
much the end of
Congress,
the year there.
they're going to find a governor, a state
So what's next year
secretary
going
of
to be like?
state,
It's going to be hysterical.
or an election official who will not put President Trump on a ballot.
So
and you
the,
notice how they've changed
they
the,
finally
the
rolled
narrative,
over.
right? They keep
I didn't
saying
think they could get there,
he
man.
led an insurrection against the Capitol.
We still got the people in the
January
store with the
6th.
masks on.
The
though.
January 6th committee has been holding hearings
I don't
for
think that's ever
over
gonna
a
go
year,
away.
and they haven't come out with a report detailing and proving that
It's
he
going
led
to be the
an
new
insurrection.
thing. I don't mind
In
when
fact,
the
the
Asian
complete
guys
opposite
do it.
was proven by that kangaroo
You know,
committee.
wearing the
Christopher
skirts
Wray,
and stuff with
2
the
days
masks.
ago,
It's
was
cute,
asked point
but,
blank,
you know, we got
were there
we
undercover
gotta grow up,
FBI
you know, we gotta
agents
be-
in MAGA
we
gear
gotta be
inside the
able to hang,
Capitol on
man.
January 6th? He
We gotta
refused
do
to
better
answer,
than-
which
we're
is an
better
answer
than
of yes.
Those fucking assholes.
So they're not going to put Trump on
Damn
primary
all the
ballots.
hell.
That's going to happen.
So
Prepare
yeah, it's
for
the
it.
end of the world.
And you know what?
Every
When it
day
happens,
it's the end of the world with
only
these
option
people.
we're going to have is to write
Yes, it is.
him in.
Face it,
And
it is the end of
elections
the
are
world.
handled different ways in different states. In some states, there's a state secretary of state,
We're doomed.
right? In some places, there's a local election clerk that's in charge of it, a local election official by the
We're in a
county.
heap of trouble.
Sometimes it's even by a city. But
Okay,
wait
so
for that.
buy the Bitcoin, sell
I
the
expect
gold.
them to start talking about that
Sell
too. But
the
they're definitely not going to put him on
crude
the
oil.
ballot in primary states. And if he's not on the ballot, he can't get
Buy
the
the
delegates.
dollar CAD as it plunges into my
This will never end.
order banks.
It will never end.
Putting in the
Because he messes up
big
their
kahuna
scam. And their
scripts.
scam is what? Being
Major
corrupt public
meltdowns.
officials just like Biden. They're all corrupt just
50
like
pip
Biden.
range.
Now, I want to tell you guys about EET
Set it and
Services,
forget it.
our fence and gate repair experts.
nothing you do
They
is
just
going to
did
change the
incredible
fact that
repairs
that
to
is a
Steve's
good fucking
fence
price to
and
buy
to his
down
gate.
there.
Now, they don't just do repairs. If
I
you
don't
need
care
a new
what you
gate, if you need
say.
a new fence, they can do that for you too.
How many times you
but if
say
you
it.
need a simple repair, or even a repair that's not that simple,
That's
they'll
always
do it.
gonna be
And these other fencing
prime
companies,
real
I'm here to
estate
tell you,
on the
they
dollar
do
CAD,
not do
deep down.
repairs. They will not even
Let's face it.
try to
Dollar
convince you
CAD is
that they'll
fucking
do a repair
a
and come out and tell you you
goddamn
need a whole new
mess.
fence. They will tell you on the phone, I've been through this.
It is-
We do not do repairs. We do not do repairs.
so
we put in
wicky,
new
it's
fences and new
just-
gates, but I just need a repair.
It's a range trader's
well,
dream.
we don't do that.
That's what it is.
It's amazing to me, but it's true. EET
All
services,
day, every
they do
day.
repairs. They're
You should be
family-owned
short
and
right now.
operated, have been in business over 20 years. They're licensed
Ready to
and
go
insured,
long.
and they work
So
on
I'm
all
ready to go
types of
long
fencing,
into the
wood,
plunge.
PVC, chain link, aluminum, iron, and if there's
Into
any
the
other
dawn
fencing
of
materials that
Montana.
I
I'm
didn't
gonna put them
list,
right down
they do
here,
those
super
too.
deep.
They work on both
8 hours.
residential and commercial properties. If you're a
No, there's
first
some
responder, a school
ADP
teacher,
report
or
coming out, some
military,
bullshit coming out
15%
tomorrow.
off. And by
I
the
gotta
way,
worry
they'll
about.
beat any competitor's price.
Pay
That's
attention,
right. They'll
man.
beat any
Blow up the
competitor's
account
price.
again.
And there's no minimum charge like
Hate
other
when that
companies
happens.
charge. No job's too small for EET services.
Okay, we can
and
make it back.
They give free estimates. That's right. Give them a call. They did a wonderful job.
Gentlemen, we
on
can
Steve's
rebuild
gate
him.
repair and his fence repair.
Oh, I got this. Hold my beer.
561-255-1170.
Please hold your call. It's very important to us.
561-255-1170. When you
Are
call,
you
make
the
sure
one
you
trading
tell
the
them
Eurodollar
you
today?
heard about them on the radio.
No, sir, we do not stop at your orders.
561-255-1170. All right.
We're
coming up on our
reputable
top of the hour
broker.
break. Those of you that have been on hold, I apologize. I've had a lot to get off my chest. I will get
Sir,
to the
do
calls
not
after the
talk to
break.
me like that.
And there are more things to bring up, too. I've just scratched
All right, it's
the
coming
surface,
into
all right?
the
Our
end
number
of the
toll
day.
free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1.
It's 10:32
888-465
p.m.
2631. 888-465-2631.
We're in the drift.
It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be right back.
The boring drift.
Yeah, this is brutal stuff, people. Brutal.
You can do it. Come on, crude oil.
I'm
Think
disgusted
like a
by
whore,
these
baby.
people.
She's dipping into the
Just
well right
disgusting.
here. We can get the 360 at that fucking pump. As soon as we
Let's
take this
see.
shit out,
Oh, yeah, Mark Esper. Got to add him to
dude,
the
as soon as we
list.
take this shit out, it's gonna be 340 at the goddamn pump. I guarantee fucking to you. You cut into this shit,
Trump's defense
bye
secretary.
bye. So we got to get into this shit, into the
Pretty
weeds.
brutal.
But the buyers are coming in here, I'm afraid. I got some good news and some bad news, son. That's a nice pullback, but it looks like buyers are just
Look at this.
itching
Here,
for this
listen to this.
bullshit here to get in.
This is what I'm talking about that Trump is facing.
I'd
Hold on,
buy
let me
that
pull this article
blue
up.
block.
I'm going to go through this when we get back. Now, the list of fake
At least
MAGA
for
people
a
that
target of
are
this, the
betraying the
scalp
MAGA
would be to
movement and
hear.
President Trump. Oh yes,
So buy the
you missed an
plunge.
extremely good hour. Rewind, Sherry.
Maybe
watch
it does
the
go
first
to
hour.
here. Maybe the world does come to an end and oil goes to $1 million and Bitcoin goes to $5. I don't know. Anyways, it's all possible.
No, my
going
internet
back
is
to
not
the-
doing well. And when my internet's not doing
The
well, that
waiting
means I can't
game.
get to all of my
We're
articles.
just gonna watch some more horrific. I just watched this one about this lady that who killed her
I got to reboot my iPad.
girlfriend and then blamed it on her
I'm starting to
husband.
think I need a new
Pretty
iPad.
tough. Guy went to jail for 3 years, got
I've
$2
had
million
this
when he
iPad
got out.
For about
But
3
what a
years. I got it
bitch.
for
And then she
Christmas
killed 2 other
3,
people.
4 years ago.
This is like a fucking
I
killing
only use it
machine.
when I'm on the air. I don't use it any other
What
time.
a bitch, man. I'd rather get stopped out of this
I use
fucking
my
trade.
iPhone and things for everything else.